Hello, my name is Matt Torrance and I am the librarian for chemistry and your guide today for your assignment on open access journals in Chem 4060. And we're going to go through some of the information pretty much following the assignment, but not exactly, to leave you all some critical thinking skills left on how to do this particular assignment. You're looking right now at a bad picture of me with my contact information. My phone number's there, but email is the better way to get in touch with me. And my email address is my last name, which is spelled up there for you, Torrance, at usf.edu. So if you have any questions after this, you can get me through your course shell in Canvas, or you can contact me through the web if you want on the library pages. So on to our topic, however, because I want to make this short and sweet, but today we're talking about the world of open access journals. If you're not familiar with this, open access journals are essentially journals that are published freely, usually online, and there are no fees charged to publish in those journals or to find the information, see the information within them, which leads to certain advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are, well, they're free and they get more exposure, and it's easier for libraries to obtain these titles. If you publish in them, your work is sort of more visible or more easily visible than journals that are fee-based or subscription-based. The disadvantages, however, is they don't tend to have the same vetting process. They don't always have the same level of peer review or refereed publication as some of the fee-based journals, which leads to a little bit of mistrust sometimes in the academic world, the attitude that if it's free, what is it worth? And they often don't count the same, in air quotes, in terms of publications for promotion and tenure or in the academic process. So keep those things in mind. If you have other questions about them, feel free to ask me after you listen to this video. I'm happy to discuss them. There's even a new class of hybrid journals where oftentimes you can pay for your article to be open access, but those aren't going to come into this assignment, but that's sort of the future of the world of publishing. So first things first, however, how do we find out about journals, about whether or not they're peer-reviewed, about whether or not they are open access? And one of the main tools we have for that, I'm going to close down this particular page and get rid of a little bit of stuff for you. I'm going to go back to the library homepage to find out information about a journal, when it was published or when it started being published, if it's open access, if it's peer-reviewed. There's a database called Ulrichs. It's a terrible name, ULRICH''S. You can get to this by going down here to Databases by Title, clicking on that link, and you will find under the letter U the link to the Ulrichs Ulrichs Periodicals Directory is what it's now called. It's like any other database, except instead of telling you articles or chemical information, when we click to open it, it takes us in and we get all this fun information where we can search for a particular journal. And in your assignment, you're going to have to do that. But to give you an example, if we are searching for the New England Journal of Medicine, it will tell us all about that journal. You can see here in our results list, the very first one has various keys and legends here over on the left. We'll talk about those. It gives you the name, the ISSN, whether it's active, and what format. And oftentimes there'll be a separate record for the print and online, but usually the print will be the oldest and will tell you sort of when it began if it has multiple versions. Most importantly for your assignment, though, is over here. If you see the little referee jersey, you will know that it is a referee title. As I hover over it, you see the name, and that tells us that this particular one is considered to be refereed, which is the same as peer-reviewed. They're basically synonyms. If we go over a little bit, you'll notice that there is a sort of an unlocked lock, which is not indicated for our title, meaning that the New England Journal of Medicine is not open access. If it were open access, there would be a little open lock there to tell you that. So this will give you some of that basic information about whether or not it's peer-reviewed or open access right away on the results screen. If you want to find out more about this journal, for example, when it started publishing, you can click on the name of it and it will take you in, and we can see here that this particular one, all that information is repeated, it's refereed, it's not open access, and its start year in this case is 1828. So when you have to answer questions about a journal, about its status in the academic world, this is the first place to go. Then what you can do is take that information back to the catalog to see if we own this particular title by clicking on the catalog tab, searching for the journal by name, and then it will tell you whether or not we have that particular journal in the USF collections. And while this is sort of churning, you can see here that we get both the record for the online, and then that would also go down a little bit. There would be a record for the print, and that would tell you that we do have access to this particular journal. So, easy stuff there. Finding out about a journal is one thing, then going into our catalog and seeing if we have it is quite another. The next step in this sort of journey and in this assignment is to go in and look at how do we find articles and then find out this information. And what can we find out about journals using various other databases? Now, to do this, your professor recommends that you look at things like SciFinder Scholar, Google Scholar, and Web of Science to find your article. I'm going to pick Web of Science for this example because it does some additional things. So if we click Web of Science and we go in, you can see that it will behave like a normal database, and that's what it defaults to. You can search for a particular topic. And you can find an article on anything biologically related. But even better, you can go up and find the journal citation reports. And this is where you can go to find out about a particular article, but journal, and its impact factor. And you can see here, if we look at the JCR Science Edition, 2013 being the newest one, we can search for a specific journal or look at a subject category and find out what the impact factors are for that journal, and therefore sort of what their relative ranking is in that particular field. And this will help you decide where to publish. Maybe if you're brand new to a field, you might not want to publish in Nature, which is the top ranked journal. Or if you're needing to post in an important journal, you might want to make sure the one you're targeting is in the top 20% of journals in that field. Just different things to take into account as you go into this. The final element of this in terms of open access is something called Romeo. It's also known as Romeo Sherpa. And that one is on some of our guides, but it's easiest just to Google it. And if we do Romeo Sherpa, and you'll see here it comes up, and we just search for that. It's a free website. It's actually Sherpa Romeo, come to notice. When we look at it, and it's from the UK, it's, again, a free page. You can look at a particular journal, and you can find out what their Romeo color is. In other words, will it allow you to archive things? And if we continue with our New England Journal of Medicine example, and we'll do a search for that, you'll see that in this case we see a lot of reds. You cannot archive preprinting. You cannot archive a postprint, meaning they're not very nice. And this one doesn't actually have an exact color here, but you can see it's telling you all about it, and that's very odd that this one doesn't have. Oh, there it is. This is a Romeo White journal, which means archiving is not formally supported, and that is the sort of, not the worst case scenario, but that means that you're not going to get much of it. If it were green, that would mean that they're sort of more open and they'll let you archive preprint, postprints, and other PDFs, and the whole key is down here. So when you get to your assignment and you have to figure out what is their Romeo color, this is the free website you'll need to go to find that. And you can use all of this information to decide where you want to publish and how you want to publish. I don't want to stretch this out any longer than it needs to be, so I will close with saying if you have any questions, let me know. Please watch this, and if you are confused at all, email me and we'll get right to it. Thank you.